The temperature's dramatically dropped today from what it was this morning when I got up. I think it's probably dropped 30 degrees. It's pretty nice this morning, but right now it's a bit chilly. I got some new tools in today. Anymore, it's amazing the older you get how the simpler things like new tools is like Christmas. And thanks to Amazon.com, it's way too easy to get new tools nowadays. Today I ordered a new screwdriver set. And now that I've got this Montezuma box, it's almost kind of fun organized and everything. So I got a new screwdriver set. I've got it stacked in here. I bought some picks. You never know when you're going to need some picks. Got the storage, so it's nice to have them. And I bought some new pry bars. 3 new pry bars, the Craftsman pry bars. And chisels and punches, which are down here in the bottom. A big set, which some of it fits in there pretty good, some of it doesn't. And handy dandy magnet because I drop a lot of things. So that's today's tool shipment, which I'll probably order some more tonight. Like I said, it's getting pretty bad because with Amazon.com ordering, it's just so easy. If you're bored and sitting around, technology can get you in trouble. Anyway, today's video is something I shot yesterday, which I think I described that. It's basically just me putting some new filters in the cat skid steer. I wanted to get that done. It was running kind of poorly since we got that bad fuel there back in December. I think is when we got that bad fuel. Yeah, I'm a procrastinator because I'm just now switching the filters up on it, but they're switched. It's running good. So enjoy today's video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching all of our stuff. It's amazing to have you. Check out all we do on loggerthreads.com for all the mulcher guys out there. We've actually got a design. We've had it. And a few of you guys have seen it. We've had it up for about a year. We've had the design kind of in our back pocket for about a year. And I've had some of the guys that originally seen it, they've wondered like, when are you going to release it? Well, we're probably going to release it this week on the Logger Threads website. So be looking for that. And tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, even tonight, they're calling for rain. So don't know what will get done this week. Might be a slow, boring week. Might be just a week of playing tools and stuff. Guys, see you later. Last week I went by Cat and picked up some filters. One of them being a new air filter, which I've already put in. Cat's pretty easy, at least on these skid steers, to change your filter element. And I just bought the primary. I didn't buy the secondary. The secondary still look good, but the primary, there's a new primary yellow filter, which, look at the old one here. You can see it was due for a filter change. And the other filter was our fuel filter, which, yeah, we're still dripping some fuel out, but I don't mind that fuel being on my floor. I think it kind of helps treat these wooden floors. So we've got the new fuel filter in. Now we're going to prime it and let it fill up before we try to start it, and we'll see. It should run quite a bit better because this is the first time I've changed filters on it, which we haven't even hit a service interval yet because this is a low-hour machine. I don't use them that much. I do, but I don't. We take them to every job, but it's not like we put a ton of hours on them. So let's put our cap back on here. Try to anyway. Oh, didn't get that one. There we go. Got that on there. Like I said, we got to hook the wiring back up here. We got a little pigtail down here. It goes on the bottom of this fuel filter. Make sure we get it in the right spot. We feel around. I think we need to go in on the back side here. All right, we're plugged in. And this is our valve there to drain off excess from the bottom there. Of course, this pretty handy. Your battery switch here to kill the power if you so choose to do so. It could be a good anti-theft deterrent. So, and me being the redneck I am, I didn't have a oil filter wrench. I know I did at one time, but it's not on my truck. So I actually went through my barn and found a broken belt and that's what I use to take the filter loose and tighten it back up, which we've got markings here to tell us where tight is, so works out pretty good. Get up here. Oh boy, the chain's in the way. Well, we'll loosen that chain, then we'll get in there. Okay, so we loosened the chain. I reached in here to turn the machine on, and I seen the key wasn't in it, and I was pretty sure I left it in there. And I felt in my pocket, sure enough, and then I looked down here. It has bounced out. That's the first time I've ever seen this happen. The key bounced out of where it should be. So we'll go ahead, let that prime up. There she goes. That's nice. That is nice. Make sure we got no leaks or anything. Then tighten back up how it's supposed to be. That's the main thing, no leaks. Now, I plan on giving this thing a royal bath this week because it needs to be cleaned out severely. We need to clean our radiators. Well, I thought that come up, maybe it doesn't. I don't even know anything about this machine, do I? I like to get the intercoolers, whether it be, I'm assuming this is for my air conditioning right here, no bigger than it is, but up here we're actually going to have either hydraulic or coolant, both, whichever one it is. I'm assuming it's engine coolant by the looks of it. I'm not for sure where my hydraulic cooler is. I wouldn't think that would be it, or this would be it, but maybe it is. It's not a very big radiator for hydraulics, but I would think that we'd have a intercooler for our hydraulic system somewhere, but like I said, maybe that's it. I don't know. Anyway, we'll give this thing a good bath. need to kind of clean off the engine compartment. I think a machine runs a lot better when it's clean. I don't know if that's in my head, but that's something I've thought for most of my life, running equipment since I was 15 years old, really. Of course, the side here, we need to give it a good bath. We got a lot of grease coming off our Zerks that get on here. Get the mud off. Clean the mud out of the drive system. Get it cleaned out good. I just think a clean machine's a happy machine, I guess we'll put it that way. I've got a new lens cover here in one of these boxes. That one right there. It's replace this lens cover I broke. I like to try to replace things when they break. I don't like to let them go. I like to keep everything as nice and neat and new looking as I can on them. It bugs me to death that my decals are scratched up. One thing after talking with my cat dealer, they said it's a lot of people do buy new decals and put on their machines every so often. That way it doesn't look so ratty, which being in the timber, you're gonna have some stuff scratch it, and you're gonna get scratched. And it's not just the timber, it's anything using these things. I mean, you buy them to use. So let's get in here. We'll fire this thing up real quick. Let her see how she runs. Fired right up. See our temperatures, which I was running earlier, but the outside temperature is right around 70 degrees, so we're probably not far off. Check out our backup camera from a view. Oh, there's tips. One of the handiest things about this machine is the backup camera. It does seem a little peppier. So one thing I was noticing here recently was the machine was starting to bog down a little bit. Even when it wasn't loaded, like even putting it in the 2-speed, we were starting to bog down on travel speed, and if we were doing 2 functions, like trying to move or take a hard turn and lift, we were starting to bog down on power. So immediately my first thought is filters need to be changed. It's lacking power, being an air filter and fuel filter, because we did get to run a bad fuel there for a while. And it seemed like this thing kind of started doing that about the time that the skidder got that bad run of fuel. because I fuel both machines, or all machines, out of the fuel tank on the back of my truck there. Oh, lose that. So it seems a little more peppier, just the throttle response on it, which we'll get it off here and see how it does. Probably tomorrow being Monday, but tomorrow being Monday, today you will see this. I'm posting tomorrow's video today, or I'm filming tomorrow's video today. Pretty confusing stuff. Anyway, I like to try to service this stuff when I can. I don't like to let things go, and just like washing it, that's let go long enough. We're supposed to have some warmer weather this week, so it'd be a good week to wash it. And that was the only thing on this. Like I said, it's only got 390 hours on it, so it's not like it's a high-hour machine. But definitely our fuel filter and oil filter, we're not even due for a service interval yet, but I definitely think they needed to be changed. Just kind of help the performance of the machine. And fuel economy. You know, when your machine's running better, you're going to burn less fuel. Your fuel consumption is going to be down. In this day and age, a guy needs to try to take care of that stuff the best he can to try to save some nickels and dimes, because they make dollars. And not to mention just the pure aggravation of when a machine's not running like it should. That aggravates me to death. So later this week, we might actually work on another one of the skidders, one of our 548 grapple skidders. I plan on moving both of our grapple skidders this week to different jobs. And really, I'd like to take this thing here, put the brush grapple on. We'll take this thing here and we'll head down to Sparta and try to cut some walnut down there. I've had a job of walnut bought for close to a month down there now, so weather permitting, this would be a good week to go try to knock that out. Okay, so I lied. We're taking this thing off the trailer right now, so I'm curious to see if it runs any better. Go up here and try to pile some logs up here on the yard. Still seems a little sluggish. That might be in my head. We'll see what it does here in just a minute. The driveway's starting to fall through from this freeze and thaw. Grab some logs. These forks are so bent. And we are in the high gear right now, so I think it's running quite a bit better because we're maneuvering pretty good in the high gear. We're not under a big load, but oh, come on, devil, you. Ah. There's times I wish these forks were about a foot longer. Downshift right there. I'm real weird about how I stack my logs. That's just from having, I like all the ends being one direction, big ends being one direction, little ends being the other direction. Go ahead and shift again here. I think we're running a little better, just how it feels right now. Come on. That's the great thing about these cats. The first skid steer I ever owned was a John Deere CT332, and it had foot controls. which I would not be able to do what I'm doing now with the foot controls. I mean, I guess I could, but you guys that have run them, you had your joysticks here. They weren't really joysticks, but your levers. Each hand had a lever, but it was just to move the machine instead of one like this lever here moves my whole machine in the cat. This one moves all my controls, which that's auxiliary hydraulics there, and you can switch auxiliaries here. And, you've got different auxiliary switches up here for your hydraulics. And this cat I've got, this 289, it's just the standard flow with one set of remotes on it. But it does everything I need it to do. Of course, got your work lights over here, air conditioning, your radio's back here. Different for different auxiliary on your hydraulics, your quick attach coupler right there. Something to do with the blade. I think that's something about self-leveling. Some buttons and stuff I really don't know what they do, and we're not gonna fool them too much. The owner's manual's behind the seat here, and I never even opened it. Log there. Shift in the high gear. Downshift. I get along pretty good with these machines. Somebody asked me here a while back if I'd be interested in trying a John Deere, or people even asked me my thoughts on the Kubotas. I've ran the Kubotas. I'm not a big fan of the Kubota machines. I know guys that just think they're the greatest thing in the world. I guess it just comes down to the operator, but I wasn't a big fan of the Kubota machines. I would probably never own a Kubota personally, unless it was just somebody sold it to me dirt cheap and I could resell it. But other than that, no, I'm not a Kubota fan. I've run the Case machines. And I haven't run a newer case. The case I ran, it actually had the, easy there, dog. The case I ran had the H pattern controls. And it was a little confusing switching to H pattern. Going from ISO to H pattern. But you get used to it there after a little bit, I guess. And I've even heard say that some of the newer machines you can switch back and forth between H pattern and ISO. I'm always bad about keeping my load up in the air, which is bad sometimes, especially if you got a heavy load on the front. It'll kind of beat you to death a little bit, but I like being able to see what's in front of me, so that's why I keep my load up. Yeah, I think it's running a lot better. I think it's running a lot better here. Good log there. Dug into the ground quite a bit. Like I said, these forks being bent like they are, it bugs me to death. Especially on our better logs, you try not to stab them or tear the bark up, so you dig into the dirt. But definitely a new set of forks is in the future. I want something about a foot longer. I'd like to have the 5-foot forks, something a little heavier. Stay there, meow.